Hey guys, it's Eli, and this week on Fanatical About Fiction, we're all doing the Why We Like Reading tag. So this is a really cool tag, and I'm sure you guys have seen everyone else's videos already, and it kind of talks about why we like reading, why we're so obsessed with books, and things like that. So let's get started. What's your favorite genre? My favorite genre is probably fantasy. I really like fantasy. That's what I've read the most of growing up. I like fantasy a lot. I like fairies and witches and stuff like that. My sister got me into science fiction when I was younger too. That's her favorite genre. So I read a lot of fantasy and science fiction. At the current moment, what is your favorite book or book series? I just finished reading a really great book that I really like. And that would be Once a Witch by Carolyn McCullough. This was a really fun, fast read, and it is fantasy and part of supernatural. And it's about a family of witches, and Tamsin, the main character, she thinks that she's not really a witch or powerful like the rest of her family, and she goes along like her life kind of living as a normal person, and then she gets proposition to go find this item for this really cute professor, and she's mistaken for her really talented older sister. So to prove to her family that she could do it, she pretends to be Rowena, and she goes off, and through this journey she figures out that she's way more than what she thought she was. It's really good. I gave a really horrible explanation, but you guys should definitely check it out. Are there any books you dislike reading? There's not really anything I don't particularly like. Not a genre anyway, or a type of book. There's some books that I've read that other people really like that I don't like, and it's just for different reasons. I'm not big into mystery yet, but there's a couple that I found that I've been liking, so I guess that's a genre that I'm opening up to. I'm kind of really open with what I read for the most part. If it's a good story with good characters, I usually will like it. In your opinion, what's the best thing about reading? The best thing about reading is the fact that you can travel all over the world through reality and fantasy and meet characters that you would never meet in real life, or meet historical figures that you're never going to meet, or just meet people like different cultures and stuff through the book. So you're able to travel anywhere. And when I was a little kid, that's definitely what I would do. I would spend my free time just reading and imagining myself places that I've never been. So I really like the escapism of books and the way that they allow you to imagine yourself as something else or someone else or somewhere else. I really enjoy that aspect of books. Are there any disadvantages of reading? Sometimes people don't understand how much you like to read if you're a big reader, so that can cause some tension in like relationships, like friendships and stuff, or even in family. They're like, why are you always reading? Why don't you do something? Or like, for example, in my family, I always want books for like Christmas and birthdays and stuff, and my parents get mad at me sometimes because I always want books. And they're like, don't you want anything else? I'm like, no, I really just want books. I just want to read. Another thing is that you can get really caught up in a book and like kind of ignore things, which has happened to me sometimes. Or like ignore your homework because you're reading a really great book, but you need to be reading your textbook instead. That happens. So I guess there's a couple disadvantages, but not many. Reading's pretty awesome. When did you get into reading? I've been a reader since I learned how to read. I don't say this to like sound all boastful and stuff, but pretty much since kindergarten I first started to read like the little tiny baby books. Like I've just been, you know, trekking along, going back, bam, like I read a lot, and I've always been a reader. There's never been a point in my life that I have not been a reader. I am like the only person in my family that is crazy about reading. Like I can talk about books all day, every day. The only person in my family that does that. They're all readers to a certain extent. My dad, my mom, my brother, my sister all like to read. Certain books, they're not like me. I like to read everything, and I always have been. In your life, what have you gotten out of reading? Has it impacted it at all or changed you? Reading has really impacted my career path. When I got to college, I realized that I liked books so much I wanted to make sure other people enjoyed books. So I really went into English education to be a teacher. And then now I'm in my grad program for a library science. So I pretty much have been in love with books my entire life, and they really have helped me choose what I want to do. And also, a big change that reading has brought on is just doing this booktube, book blogger thing. Like, I never would be a part of such a great community if it wasn't for reading in the first place. So it has really changed, like, me, because I just want to share how awesome books are with everyone. How often do you buy books, and do you enjoy being around them and buying them and stuff? I try not to buy them too frequently. Like, I don't buy a book every day. I've gone for like weeks before without buying books. But I probably buy, if you average it out, it's maybe a book a week, at least one book a week. And sometimes I go on these big splurges where I buy a ton of books. I'd rather buy the book and then read it and maybe not like it and then give it away. Then I don't know. It's weird. I just like having them in my hands. And sometimes that's why it's hard for me to borrow books from the library, because I'm like, I don't want to give you back. But I definitely buy a lot. What got you started book blogging here on YouTube, and did anyone particularly inspire you? The vlog thing definitely came after I started blogging on my, book blog. And because I was like, a newbie kind of hunting around, I saw some people doing like book hauls on YouTube, and especially Christy from the Story Siren. I saw hers a lot, and I was like, oh, I have a camera, I could probably do that. That would be so cool to be able to just show the books like in the hand. So I first started doing it just for in my mailbox, like that's it. If anyone inspired me to do anything, it would probably be just the Christy from the Story Siren, because she does it all the time. And just like a couple like Lizzie books, she's really awesome. Priscilla from the Readables, her videos are amazing. So there's just a bunch of people that like I've seen, so it wasn't really like necessarily, oh, I need to copy that, but it would be like, oh, that's a cool idea, maybe I could see how I could do that. Your favorite booktubers? I already said a couple of them. I use YouTube not necessarily for the book stuff, because I book blog, so I have a lot of blogs that I follow. So I have a limited amount of like booktubers that I watch. How many books do you have? Do you ever think you'll have too many? No, never too many. First of all, last time I counted, and just the books that you guys kind of see here, I had like 300 something. Yeah, 300 something I think. Plus the 2 bookcases. Well, I have 3 bookcases in my room, and they're almost all the way filled-ish. So I'd probably say I have about 500 books in my house at this time. So yeah, I have a lot of books. I don't know what I'm going to do when I move. I'm going to have to hire a moving company, because I'm going to have so many books that are so heavy. Ugh. Will you ever run out of room for your books? I'm kind of running out of room a little bit, because of my shelving style is a little weird. Like, I like showing off like all my favorites on just a single row, and I'm gonna start doubling up the rows because I have deep enough bookshelves to do it. And I actually have a whole bookshelf in my room that has just crap on it right now because I'm rearranging things, so I don't have, like, I have all of that too, so I have room. I'm probably not gonna run out. Hopefully before I'm able to buy another bookcase if we move from our apartment now. But I think if I did that, then I'd just probably get like more under the bed boxes or like storage that way, and just put the ones that I occasionally read, or box my adult books up and maybe start going through them a little bit more and getting rid of some of those to make way for my young adult books. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I'll cross that bridge when we come to it. What books would you save in a fire? The first one being Looking for Alaska by John Green. This is one of my favorite all-time books. The next book I would say would be Speak by Laurie Halse Anderson. Also one of my top favorite books. Hard Love by Ellen Whitlinger. This is my #1 favorite young adult book, favorite book in general. Final book I would say would be my copy of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which is signed by Marie Grandpré. And then just in general, anything I want to add about my passion for reading, I'm Crazy Pants. If you ever want to talk books, I am there. I love books, especially young adult books. I try and be a really big advocate for GLBT just books in general. I push books on my friends. I'm like, read this, read this. So I don't know, I just really think that books save lives. And I know you might be like, what the heck are you talking about? But I've seen it happen. I've been a part of something like that with students of mine. So I just really think that books can really impact lives in a crazy way, like you wouldn't even expect it. And it's really good. So I hope all of you have been interested the entire time that I've rambled on about my love of reading. And, you know, leave your comments, answer any questions below, do a video response, thumbs this up, subscribe to our channel. We love all of you. We thank you so much for hanging out with us and watching our videos. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and don't forget to be awesome.